Hello. Today we're going to be doing the third grade math module, lesson 14. Our objective for this lesson is to learn how to round to the nearest hundred on the vertical number line. Before we get started, let's talk about our application problem. Now, you may remember seeing this from last year when we were talking about place value. Whoops. Let's go back. And when we have a box like this and we have a number, so for instance, blue's good. Okay, let's say we have the number 50. Is it going to give it to me? 53. We know that we're going to put 5 in the 10 spot and 3 in the 1 spot, right? Okay, and if we have 453, we would put the 4 in the 100 spot, 10 in the 1, and the 5 in the 10 spot, and 3 in the 1s, because we know what all of this is. Now, you also know that if my number is 571, that we can also draw pictures to show this. So for instance, we could put 1 dot here, we could put 7 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, using the 5 group model, and then we can put the 5 in here. 3, 4, 5. This also shows 571. Okay, now that's a good review. So let's just look at the number that we're going to be looking at today. And that number is this number. Okay. Now, we can read this number two ways. We can read this number 1,387, or we can use it only as hundreds and say that this is 1,387. I'm going to be using that because, as you can see, I do not have a thousands box. So I'm not regrouping into the thousands spot. So today we're only going to be talking about rounding to the nearest hundred anyway, so let's count them as hundreds. Please pause your video, make yourself a box, and put your numbers in the box. Okay, now I hope that you put 7 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You put 8 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you put 13 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So here I have 13 hundreds, 8 tens, and 7 ones, right? So we can put this here. We have 13 hundreds, 8 tens, and 7 ones. Okay, now let's put this on the number line and see which hundred we can round this up to. Okay, so first we need to clear it and move on to the next slide. Here's our number line. Now, if this is our number, you find it here. If this is our number, we need to look at the hundred spot. What hundreds do we have? We have 13 hundreds. Okay, so down here, we're going to put 13 hundreds. What is one more hundred than 13? So that's going to be 14 hundreds. Okay, so move up here, put our 14 hundreds. Okay, what is half of 100? What would the halfway mark be? Well, half of 10 is 5, and we know that if you want to add 100, you're going to add another. You're going to add 10. You're going to add another 0 after it. So if half of 10 is 5, you add another 0, we get 50. Okay, so we know that this is going to be. Let me erase that. We know that that's going to be in a 50, aren't we? But what? We have to add the 50 to this 100. So this is going to be 13 hundreds. Now wait a minute. What is 50? How many tens is that? that would be 5 tenths, right? Now off to the side I can show you that this is 1300. Up here would be 1400. And right here we have 1350. Okay, but where does 1387 fall? Well, is it more than 1350? Yes. But it's not real close to 1400, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put 1300s. Now, how many tens do we have? 8 tens and 7 ones. Right here. And that number is 1387. Okay? So, now we look to see if we're going to round up to the nearest 100 or down to the nearest 100. Remember, anything 5 and up, we round up. Anything 4 and below, we round down. Well, this is above the halfway mark, above our 5, our 50 point. So we're going to round it up. So we can say over here that 1387 is about, what's my nearest? About 1400. Now, we can write it out in words. Or we can write it like this, in numeral form. Okay? Now, good luck with your assignment. See you tomorrow.